Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So I want you to look at this photo here, which is very important. Have a look at this. Have a look at this first photo. My bad, let's just play this video again. Okay, so have a look at this. Have a look at this photo as well. And have a look at this one here, which is the current city right now, as in 21st century. And now let's compare this with the cities which were basically erased, destroyed, and melted away from different continents. These are photos taken from Africa, from parts of Asia, from North America as well, even from Australia. Look at this, guys. This is just shockingly amazing. Do you see here what I am seeing? I am seeing effectively a cluster of buildings which are nicely and neatly organized, same as modern buildings right now. And they are completely melted. Now there's different levels to this, of course. Here's another interesting example how melting occurs. Okay, and look at this melting happening here underneath. This is just amazing, isn't it? I mean, that's just crazy, right? Now look at these buildings here. Do you see that color there? That color is effectively the color when something is melting on top of the building. And also you see here the top side of here. Very interesting. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have this one is one of the best examples. Look at this, guys. I mean, this is obviously an artificial structure. This one here, this one, it's clearly an artificial construct. I mean, come on, give me a break. There's the windows and everything, the building, the towers. Okay, and you can see that it was effectively melted down from the top. The heat came potentially this way, and of course also potentially from the top and then sideways. Most likely from the top, because you see like the lines went vertically down. Okay, and the facade as well, so you can see that the heat completely covered the building and it made it as it is right now, petrification and of course melting of the construct itself. Quite crazy, isn't it? I mean, this is just one example. Here's another one. Look at this and look at how it melted the stone, and you can see it dripping all the way from the top. Okay, the next one as well. Look at this. I mean, this shows effectively the warping of the actual building and the construct and the, obviously the stone itself. Look at the deformation which is generated from the intense heat which this has suffered. Okay, so yeah, someone or some people or some civilization back in the day, they completely destroyed, reset a lot of cities back in the past. Many of these were in Africa, and they basically melted them away. Here's a clear example. Look at how nicely and neatly these are structured. It reminds me very much of this, which is of course a current city. Doesn't it remind you of that? I mean, definitely reminds me of this. I mean, just looking at this, I can tell straight away this, guys, is an artificial construct. And the buildings, they are like skyscrapers, as you can see here. And the melting is happening again all the way down, which is just intense, guys. Here we have another example. Another one is here. I mean, this one is obviously melting and burning in the building. Okay. Moving on to the next one. This one also shows the stone. Look at the stone here as it was melting downwards, creating all these residues, okay? And down here, this is done by extreme heat. This is not normal, okay? This is definitely not normal behavior of stone by any shape or form. Another one here. Then we have another interesting example here as well. This one is very interesting as well, buried under the sand. Another one there. Okay, look at this. And of course, this is another example. This is what happens with a stone when you effectively make it melt. Okay, it just becomes a sort of like shape, which is like almost like a gooey surface of a cake shape, like an icing on the cake, but it's obviously hard. It's not soft, so you can't really scoop it out. But that is the residue. This one again, good example. Look at this. We see it here. We see it in this area. We see that the facade, the front area, some of the buildings survived a bit, where some of the other buildings on the side had less of a good luck fate here, because you can see them from the different areas. They were quite affected substantially in different parts, okay, which is very interesting. So Yes, guys, one more time. This is quite strange, quite suspicious. Raises some alarm bells. Back in the day, a civilization which is very advanced decided to erase another civilization by completely melting down cities and potentially countries and nations. Okay, now why would they do that? Was there an interest to control the world? Were they not needed anymore? Were they just a test subjects? Were they just colonists and they decided to reset and effectively start over again, and now we have our current humanity? Guys, there's many questions, of course. I don't have the answers to all those questions because, I'm not effectively a omnipotent, knowledgeable person. But it's quite clear here that something is amiss, something is fishy, something doesn't make any sense. And that something is becoming more and more obvious as we look at our past, and also the past which official media does not want to talk about, which is, of course, it's always the case when something is not 100% foolproof, idiot proof, especially when it's questionable. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next one. Bye.